Security System Development Life Cycle Educational Institution from Quezon City.
Good day everyone. Now I will explain this phase to make it understand. The investigation phase is the foundation of any security system development life cycle. It focuses on identifying and understanding the university security needs, the risks they face, and the constraints that may impact the implementation security solutions. Here, understanding risk is crucial in the investigation phase because it identifies the vulnerabilities such as phishing attacks, weak authentication, and low cybersecurity awareness that need immediate attention. Also, acknowledging constraints like budget, usability, and regulatory compliance ensures that proposed security measures are practical, user-friendly, and legally compliant, making the plan both realistic and actionable. We know that these insights help prioritize solutions like MFA, stronger password policies, and training programs to address the root causes effectively. Proposed system requirements strengthen authentication and MFA protect accounts, and monitoring system detect threats in real time. Well, everything here in this phase is relevant and critical because investigation phase ensures a clear understanding of the university's security landscape. Without it, solutions may not address the actual issues, leading to wasted resources and persistent vulnerabilities. By gathering all necessary information during this phase, Future Tech University can create a well-informed plan to resolve its security problems effectively.
Phase 2 Analysis 1. Security Requirements. Protect accounts through MFA and strong password policies. This emphasizes the importance of multi-factor authentication, MFA in short, and robust password policies to prevent unauthorized account access. MFA adds an extra layer of security beyond just a password, often involving a code sent to a phone or email. Strong password policies typically require passwords to meet certain criteria like length, complexity, and more. Secure sensitive data in compliance with the Data Privacy Act. This highlights the need to protect sensitive information according to relevant data privacy laws. This could involve encryption, access controls, and other data protection measures. The Data Privacy Act. Real-time monitoring for phishing attempts and unauthorized access. This points to the necessity of continuous monitoring to detect and respond to security threats like phishing attacks and unauthorized access attempts. Real-time monitoring allows for immediate responses to security breaches. 2. Functional requirements, MFA and password policy enforcement. This requirement goes beyond simply having MFA and strong password policies. Create a phishing reporting system. Calls for the development of a mechanism for users to easily report suspected phishing attempts. This system needs to be user-friendly and efficient, allowing for quick reporting and investigation of potential threats. Provide user-friendly cybersecurity awareness training. Highlights the importance of educating users about cybersecurity threats and best practices. The training needs to be accessible and engaging to ensure users understand and follow security protocols. IT infrastructure compatibility. This is a crucial requirement, ensuring the security measures are compatible with the existing IT infrastructure. This means the system must be able to integrate seamlessly with existing systems and technologies, avoiding conflicts or performance issues.
Part 3. Logical Design. Logical Security architecture in this space, we designed the security framework for the system. First, authentication policies ensure that only authorized users can access the system. For example, users should create strong passwords with at least 12 characters including letters, numbers, and symbols. To add extra protection, we use MFA or multi-factor authentication apps like Google Authenticator for one-time password. Next, access control restrict who can access critical system. Only admins get special access and the rest is organized using role-based access control or RBAC, which assign permission based on a user's role, such as students or teachers from the portal or LMS. Lastly, we make it easy to report phishing emails by adding a dedicated button to the LMS and portal to flag suspicious email quickly. Number 2. Security policies. In addition to the architecture, we need clear security policies. These include a password management policies to ensure users know how to create and manage secure password. A cybersecurity awareness training program is essential to teach users how to recognize threats like phishing or hacking attempts. Finally, we need an incident response plan to quickly handle situations like phishing attacks or compromised accounts, minimizing the impact on user and data. This diagram shows the logical design of a network divided into the two sections connected by router 1 and router 2. On the left side, router 1 manages the 192.168.1 network, which includes a switch 1 connected to 4 computers, PC1 to PC4, each with unique IP addresses. On the right side, router 2 manages the 192.168.2 X network consisting of switch 2 connected to the 3 servers, the syslog server for logging network activities, the email server for communication, and the Radius server for authentication and access control. The two routers are linked allow this network to communicate securely while maintaining their individual functions. This setup ensures efficient data flow, resources sharing, and network security. Phase 4. Physical design. Technology needed. Authentication tools or MFA solution. Duo Security Google Authenticator or OT. Secure password management tools for administrators, monitoring tools, security inform and event management, instructor detection system, training tools, e-learning platforms, Coursera, Udemy for cybersecurity training, phishing simulation, tools like KnowWeb. Number 1. Here's the explanation. Technology needed. In this phase, we focus on the tools required to make the security system effective. First, we need authentication tools like multi-factor authentication or MFA solutions such as Duo Security or Google Authenticator to verify user identities. A security password management tools is also crucial for administrators to keep passwords safe. Second, we need monitoring tools like security information and event management or SIEM system and instructions detection system or IDS to detect and respond to any security threats. Finally, training tools are important, such as online platforms like Coursera or Udemy for cybersecurity training and phishing simulation tools for prepare users against fake emails. Configuration MFA for LMS and portal login. Setup a security backup system for critical data, integrate and anomaly detection. procurement strategy. Research and select cost-effective tools aligned with the institutional needs, technology selection, and vendors' valuation. Here's the example. This setup involves setting up the tools properly. For example, MFA should be configured for secure login to Learning Management System or LMS. In the portals, we also need to establish a security backup system to protect critical data in the case of loss or damage. Additionally, systems like SIEM and anomaly detection should be integrated to monitoring unusual activity and prevent potential threats. Procurement strategy. This step is about choosing the right tools and services. It starts with researching and selecting cost-effective solution that fits the needs of organization. Evaluating different technologies and vendors is also essential to ensure the tools are reliable and meet the required standard for security. Ang makikita nyo po dito sa diagram namin is nakalagay password, login, and then multi-factor authentication.
Phase 5 implementation. This phase is all about putting the planned security measures into actions, ensuring they work effectively while involving everyone in the system. It includes 4 key steps. Number 1. Deployment strategy. Roll out MFA for administrative accounts first, then expand to student and staff. Second, update password policies and notify users about the changes. Third, pilot the phishing reporting mechanism with a small group before full implementation. Yung first deployment strategies daw po ay begin by introducing stronger security features like multi-factor authentication or MFA for administrative accounts. Once that's working well, expand it to include student staff. Then yung second naman ay update password rule to make them more secure and clearly inform everyone about the changes so they know what to expect. And third, test a new system for reporting phishing scams with a small group of users before rolling it out across the university. This helps ensure any issues are fixed before full implementation. Number 2. Installing and testing. Install MFA tools and integrate with LMS and portal system. Second, test the new system for compatibility and effectiveness in a controlled environment. Third, conduct phishing simulations to evaluate the system's Sa first ng installation and testing, we need to install MFA system and connect it to the university keys platform such as learning management systems and online portals. Next is we need to conduct testing in a controlled environment to check that everything works smoothly and doesn't disrupt daily activities. And next, run phishing simulations, fake phishing attempts to assess how ready the system and users are to handle real threats. Number 3, training. Provide hands-on training for staff and recognizing phishing attempts. Dito daw po, provide hands-on training staff, teaching them how to recognize phishing attempts and avoid falling for scams. Second, create tutorials and fact documents for students on MFA and password policies. We need to create user-friendly tutorials and facts for students, helping them understand MFA passwords, policies, and their importance. And third, host workshops and online webinars on cybersecurity awareness. Organize workshops and online webinars to raise awareness about cybersecurity and build a culture of security across the university. 4. Documentation. Maintain detailed records of configuration and deployments so that it can keep detailed records of all installations, configurations, and deployment, so there's a clear story of the security measures taken. Next, create user manuals and guide for new security measures. We need to write clear user manuals and guides to help everyone navigate the new security features easily. And last, document incident response protocol. We need document step-by-step procedures for responding to security incident so that we can measure the university act quickly and effectively if problem arises.